I am going to do a different type of video than the stuff you guys have been seeing. And it's because the other night I was watching a video from one of the ladies that I subscribe to named Thriftastic Mom 1. And she had me rolling. She had me laughing out loud because she uploaded a video called What I Would Tell My Younger Self. And I loved hearing the stuff she had to tell herself. And ever since then, I have been thinking of things that I wish I had been able to like warn myself about growing up. It's a miracle I'm alive, guys. Honestly, it's a miracle that I survived up until now. And if we all take the time to think back, we're pretty darn nuts if you think about it. So, because I can't get that video out of my head and because I can't get all these little instances out of my head unless I put them down on video. If not for you guys, for me to watch later or my kids to watch later. I just need it put out there that these are some of the things I wish I could have given myself a heads up about. And as they've been popping into my head, I'm jotting them down, not in detail, but just like, oh my gosh, this and this and this. So I'm going to start as early as 7 because that's when I can remember doing something very, very foolish. That's where my foolishness began. And it's going to go from 7 on probably till yesterday because goodness knows I'm always up to something. But one of the first memories I have that has stayed with me for my whole life, and I think I've only shared with 2 people, and I'm going to share it to all y'all. Um, I would tell myself, my 7-year-old self, oh, butterflies are not full of butter. They're just called butterflies. And I found out the hard way. So don't taste a butterfly. I will spare you all the details of how I tasted it, but they're not full of butter. They never have been, never will be. So just, I wish someone had clued me in. Um, Apparently, I was always hungry as a kid because not everything on a bush or a tree is edible. Growing up, we would eat mulberries and blackberries and these wild strawberries and green plums off of the trees in my mom's backyard, well, in our backyard or the neighbor's backyard. So it got to where whatever was growing and round and looked edible, we would eat. But we found out that some things will come haunt you in the middle of the night. Not everything on a tree or bush is edible. Um, Also, as a kid, and this is something that I think any child anywhere who has hot, hot summers need to be told ASAP. Never, ever, ever drink out of a water hose without letting the water run first. Uh, Maybe the kids nowadays are a little too sophisticated to drink water out of a water hose, but back in the day we did. After we climbed down from that mulberry tree and after we got all sour pucked from eating the green plums, we'd go and suck out some water from the water hose. And it's a miracle that my lips weren't seared together because it took a good 5 or 6 mouth burn-ins for me to realize, oh, you gotta let the water run. So I wish I had been able to tell myself, don't do that. Let the water run. Another thing, I was always a very curious child and always an animal lover. Anything alive and living, I wanted a part of. And I would tell myself, Melissa, don't attempt to bring home any kind of sea life home in a jar from summer vacation. It doesn't end well. I tried bringing home a jellyfish in a pickle jar. Jeez. Oh, I tried bringing home a jellyfish in a pickle jar. And we actually, it's a miracle. See, I'm telling you, it's a miracle I'm not dead. I scooped it up. Me and my little cousins found a random jar. I guess it was a pickle jar on the beach. And it was jellyfish season, and they were so plentiful you could scoop them up. I'm telling you, it's a miracle we weren't stung. And we scooped one up and we filled a jar up with seawater and we were going to bring it home. What the plan was after we got it home, I really don't know, but we wanted a jellyfish. We didn't aerate the poor thing. And let me tell you guys, jellyfish in the heat, it was a plastic pickle jar and it was swelling and swelling and swelling. And thankfully, we noticed halfway between Corpus Christi and Dallas that this jar doesn't look right. So we were able to leave it out on the side of the road. The poor thing had died and there was some chemical thing going on in there. That could have been a horrific, horrific drive home. Then a few years later, we tried doing it with a crab. We tried to bring a crab home. Same thing. We punched holes in the little jar this time, but it didn't make it, and it was the same kind of very sad, stinky experience. So I would tell myself, leave the sea life in the sea. Don't try and bring it home. It's disgusting. It doesn't turn out well. Now this is something, and I thought I was being quite creative. I've always been kind of creative and kind of hands on, but I would have to tell myself, just let your mom buy you the plastic mask for Halloween. Um, because cutting a hole in an old sheet, cutting holes in an old sheet like to be a ghost, doesn't work in the real world. It really doesn't. That kind of stuff works for Charlie Brown, and it didn't even really work well for him. But nobody in real life cuts holes in a sheet to be a ghost, and it was probably my least favorite Halloween because it didn't go over well. It was corny and silly, and I ended up coming home early, and I didn't get a lot of um, candy, so it has stayed in my head that long. So, yeah, I would tell myself, leave the sheet intact and go buy one of those horrible 1970 something plastic masks that made you feel like you were suffocating. But at least I think I would have enjoyed Halloween better. Um, as far as getting into school, I was always pretty shy. Um, Nowadays I'm very outspoken, but back in the day, I would pretty much let people walk all over me. And in elementary school, I was very, very quiet and very, very shy. And I would love to be able to tell my younger self, stand up for yourself. Don't let anybody put anything on you that you know is not right. Two instances, and you know when we're kids, when bad things happen, they'll stay with you. Two instances. One, we had a teacher named Mr. Anderson, Herb Anderson. And for some reason, the students just picked on this poor guy mercilessly. One day, someone decides to shoot a spitball at him, and it came from my general direction. He happened to turn around as it hit him on the neck. I guess I was the first one in view. He called me out, said it was me, and in my shyness, and in my fear, and in my insecurity, I said nothing. I did not defend myself. It went as far as to being taken down to the principal's office, my mother being called, my mother having to come down and do a parent conference. And the entire time, I don't know who spit the spitball, but I knew it wasn't me. And the entire time, I took it. I got in trouble for something that was not my fault. And for whatever reason, I could not stand up for myself. I could not defend myself. It's not that case now. It's not that way now. But I would love to be able to go back in time and tell myself as a young child, right is right. And if someone is trying to put the blame on you for something, or you know you are not in the wrong, stand up for yourself and stay standing and keep denying and you stay on it because right is right. Another instance, and this stayed with me all these years because it was so humiliating. It was the last day of school, and all of us, this was probably in the sixth or seventh grade, the last day of school, and we're all kind of hanging out, looking out the windows and stuff. And I smelled a little nasty BO, but I didn't say anything. It's the last day of school. I was in a good mood. Well, my teacher pulls me aside, and apparently, here we go again. She thinks it's coming from me. She pulls me over and kind of, you know, coyly asks me if I know about deodorant. And has my mom had the talk with me about wearing deodorant, and I knew where she was going, and I knew it wasn't me because I was already wearing it, and I would wear the baby love musk. Y'all remember that baby love musk in the little pink bottle? Honey, I was smelling good even in the 6th and 7th grade. So I knew it wasn't me because I had smelled it. And again, I was so embarrassed and so humiliated and so nervous and so scared and so insecure to say anything that I let this woman believe that I was funky, that I was the one who was funking up the group at the window. And that has always haunted me. So yeah, I would definitely tell my younger self, stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself. That is something that I had to go through a lot until I became a pretty outspoken, no you didn't kind of person that I am now. But yeah, definitely stand up for yourself. I would definitely tell myself, don't be in a hurry to grow up. Don't. I was the last girl in my group to have her first kiss. I was the last girl in my group to do the deed. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I was the last girl in my group to wear a bra. Um, I was still playing with Barbie dolls at 13 and 14 years old. I was crossing from tomboy into little girl, and Barbie dolls were awesome because I like the clothes. And I was always embarrassed by that. Like my little girlfriends were wearing makeup and they were wearing training bras and they were holding hands and kissing boys in the hallway at their locker. And I kind of envied them to a certain extent. I would try and stuff my shirt. Now listen to what I'm telling y'all guys. I would stuff my shirt. I didn't know you had to stuff your bra. I didn't have a bra. I didn't have boobs till I was like 16, 17 years old. Really, guys, the only reason I have boobs now, y'all have heard me say, is because I'm a big girl. But I tried to stuff make boobies with toilet paper, not knowing that you needed a training bra. So one was up here and one was down here. And of all people to catch me was my mom wondering, what are you doing? What's going on here? And I had to tell her, I wanted to know what it felt like to have boobs. It was humiliating and it has stayed with me for the rest of my life. My mom laughed it off. My brother tortured me about it for like years afterwards. And my sister just thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I don't be in a hurry to grow up because it'll be here before you know it, and it ain't that much fun. As far as the makeup goes, I would tell myself, just wait. Okay, just wait. My mom did not allow me to wear makeup because she didn't think I needed it. I was too young. It's going to ruin your face, blah, 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 blah. But I would take my older sister's little um, the little eyeshadow compacts and stuff that she had pretty much wasted away, but there was still some along the edges. So what I would do is I would take her used needed to be thrown away makeup and put it on at the school bus stop because all my girlfriends were wearing makeup. But then I would try and scrub it off on the school bus on the way home. Now, another thing that ties along with the don't grow up too fast is I would tell myself, and I can't believe I'm gonna tell you guys this. I would tell myself, if you're gonna wear makeup, wait until you get home, sneak in, wash your face. Spit does not constitute a good makeup remover. Yes, people, I would be on the school bus because me and my older siblings would get home around the same time. And if they saw me with makeup on, they were going to tell my mom and I was going to be in trouble. So I'd sit there like a friggin' cat on the school bus. Like a friggin' cat. I may as well have just been doing this mess, trying to get my telltale blue eyeshadow and red lipstick off. It was the 80s where you would do the streak of blush, and I loved me some blush, honey. The straight streak. All my friends were wearing it, but I kid you not, I turned into friggin' Sylvester the cat washing off my face with spit. It's humiliating. It's embarrassing. I cannot believe I'm telling you guys that, but I would definitely tell my younger self, don't be in a hurry. Don't be a follower. Just don't be in a hurry to grow up. Um, as I got older, and I crossed over from kind of being a little tomboy to wanting to be a girl. Um, I wanted to learn how to walk in high heels so bad. Um, and I would tell my younger self, it's fine to try and learn to walk in heels, but don't think you're gonna learn in a 5-inch heel. My mom used to have these awesome disco platform sandals, friggin' awesome, black patent leather. Oh gosh, if I could get my hands on those shoes, these beautiful sandals, patent leather with this huge, long, high heel. And I thought I was all of this, honey. I was going to learn to walk in high heels. And I would just tell myself, don't. Gotta learn to friggin' walk before you can run. And if you got a twisted ankle or a busted leg, you ain't gonna be able to do either. But I was so eager to learn how to walk in heels. It just looks so awesome. So yeah, I would definitely tell myself, slow the heck down. Start off like this before you end up with a heel that big. But um that was that awkward 12, 13, 14-year old stage. Um when the teen years came in, I got plenty of advice for myself. Um but the main thing honestly that I would tell myself is at 15 years old, Melissa, you are going to have an extreme supernatural experience with the Holy Spirit. Okay, you and God are going to be like this. You're going to have a moment where you are going to feel God's presence. And it is going to be the most incredible, immensely peaceful, and awesome thing you have ever felt in your life. But you're going to forget. And I would tell myself now, do not be distracted by life, by the world, and veer away from that relationship that you formed that day with God. I would beg myself not to lose focus on Him and not to separate myself from Him. I'm glad I'm back now, but there are lots of years in between where that awesome experience I had was clouded by life, my friends and boyfriends and partying and if I could, I would. I'm telling you, I would absolutely write it in the sky, Melissa. Don't lose your relationship. Don't lose focus on your relationship with God because you're gonna need Him, and there is nothing more friggin' awesome, more peaceful, more fulfilling, and just awesome than that. So I would truly wish that I could get those years back. But I'm glad where I am now. He doesn't leave us, honey. We leave him. But yeah, I would tell myself, stay focused. Um, Another thing I would tell myself during that crazy age is please listen to the tattoo artist. Okay, they're professionals. They know what they're talking about. When the tattoo artist, Patrick, I love you, tells you, I don't feel comfortable putting a tattoo of Betty Boop on your boob. You are going to regret it when you're 30 years old. Listen to him, please. Listen to him. It was kind of cute when you were 18. It was kind of cute when you were 21. But you learned real quick, you're going to learn real quick that it is the most ridiculous spot you can put a tattoo. He was right. You should have listened to Patrick. Goodness gracious. Getting older. I wish I could tell myself. When you get your first job, when you get your first apartment, when you get your first driver's license, when you get your first car, you are going to have friends and family that have never cared about you come out of the woodwork. I would tell myself, be very aware and do not fall for the phony garbage that comes along with it because they want something from you. It's amazing. We've all been there. You get a little bit of money in your pocket or a little bit of anything, and all these people all of a sudden are all around you. And I did. I was still at that age where I'd let people walk all over me, and I let that happen a lot. And I definitely would tell myself, just get a little backbone, girl. Just stand up to him and say, where were you before I had all this? Bye bye. I would definitely tell myself, be leery of the fakers and the frauds and all that stuff. Melissa, dear, when your doctor tells you right after you have your first kid, you've lost all your weight and you look fantastic and you're on a really, really good path, but we need you to really watch your weight and your fat intake and all that, because you're doing okay now, but if you don't watch it, by the time you're 40, you're going to be in real bad health. Please listen, 20-something-year-old Melissa. Please, would you please? I'm not falling apart by any means, but goodness knows I could feel better. We could feel a whole lot better had you just listened, but you didn't want to listen. You dropped all that baby weight after your first baby, and you thought you were cute and you were that pretty mama. And before you know it, should have listened to your doctor. I wish I had. One thing I would tell myself at any age, um, hug, kiss, and love on your mama all you can. Um, all moms need to know that they are loved and honored and respected, and that they are the most awesome thing in the whole wide world. They all do. But, sorry, I think single mothers need to hear it just a little bit more, because they don't have a husband or usually another adult in the home to tell them you're doing okay, you're fine, you're doing good, you're not, you're not ruining your kids. I would tell myself at any age, and I'll tell myself right now, call your mama, hug her, love her, visit her, spend time with her, let her know all the happiness she brought you in your life. And I have been blessed that I am able to tell my mom some of the most awesome memories I have of her. I've been blessed that I can tell her, but there were so many years that I could have been doing it. There were so many years where I could have made her feel as awesome as she should be made to feel. So I would tell myself, sorry, I would tell myself, love your mama. Love her, love her, love her. And I say my mom in my case because my father was not in the picture. But yeah, just be all up on your mama. Just till she's like, back off already. Okay, I get it, honey. Until she gets that way, just be on her, love her, and kiss her and hug her and all that stuff. Um, Another thing I would tell myself is it's going to be hard when you have your first kid, because you're scared of everything. You're scared of starving them. You're scared they're going to cough to death. You're scared they're going to sneeze to death. You're scared they're going to fall off of a slide or a jungle gym and be paralyzed. I mean, you're terrified of everything. And Melissa, dear, you're going to over panic. You're going to make things a little harder for yourself and your little boy because you're so scared. I would love to be able to tell myself, honey, he's not going to starve. Okay? He's not going to get so sick from a cold or a fever that he can't bounce back. Um you're going to try and make everything so perfect that you're going to put a lot of pressure on little dude, and in turn put a lot of pressure on yourself, and you're going to create a lot of stress and problems. I would love to be able to go back and tell myself it's okay. You're not gonna hurt him. You're not gonna he's not gonna break. Okay, he's not gonna break. Take it easy, calm down. He's a smart little boy. Just because he doesn't know his ABCs at 3 years old doesn't mean he's gonna be academically challenged. He's never gonna graduate. No, no. Calm down, because all you're gonna do is cause problems in your relationship with your son. I would love to be able to tell myself that. I would love to have been able to tell myself that. And even though my mom told me that, for me now, I wish I knew then what I know now, kind of thing. I wish I would have been there, been in that headspace, like, it's going to be okay. But yeah, and that, because by the time your second kid comes along, you would have already learned. Melissa, by the time Caleb comes along, you're going to know. A band aid, he's just fine. Some Tylenol, He's good. But yeah, calm down with your first baby. And I'm thinking as I got older, one of the things that I would tell myself that all women tend to tell each other, but we never listen to anybody else. Honey, Melissa dear, if a man shows his butt over and over again while y'all are dating, please don't think that marriage is going to change him. Living together is not going to change him. Uh, he is who he is. And if he is a lion, conniving, cheating, ball of feces, that's what he is. You can't change him. Nothing's going to change him. Move on. Boy, I wish I could have told myself that. Probably the last couple things, probably the only thing that I can think of is, I'm telling you guys, I've been sitting here thinking about all the things throughout my life. I would tell my younger Melissa, get your head out of the what if, okay? You are not beneath anybody. You are an awesome person. You're very strong. You are absolutely loved by the people that matter. So you better love yourself. Because you deserve to be happy and peaceful. And your children deserve it too. So that's the last bit of advice I would offer myself. Love yourself. Cliche, but it's the friggin' truth. Love yourself. And I guess that's all I would tell myself. Final bit of advice to myself. Oh my gosh, hold on a second. And laugh. Laugh and smile. Laugh and smile. I spent a lot of years very self-conscious about my smile. I was always smiling. The quiet little shy kid who got stepped on and got lied about and got in trouble and ate butterflies and cat washed makeup off of her face. I was always smiling. And then one time, someone in elementary school, it was a parent actually, and I can't believe a parent would say this. The parent of one of my best friends asked my friend, does your friend do drugs? Because she's always smiling. And that humiliated me, made me so self conscious about how I was coming off to people. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm coming off like a dopehead. This is horrible. So I stopped smiling. It got so bad that people thought I was angry. People would ask me, are you mad at me? Or people would get upset with me because they think I'm looking at them ugly. I became so self conscious about smiling because of some ignorant comment a grown woman made that I stopped smiling in public for years. So, Melissa dear, young Melissa, honey, don't let anybody take your smile away. Don't let them do it. You keep smiling, you keep laughing, laugh out loud. It doesn't matter. Don't let anybody take that smile. Now, after having said all that, I'm not sure how all of this little thing is going to edit out, but I wanted to share that with you guys. And if any of you are moved to do something like this, I would love to see what kind of stuff you guys survived. It's a miracle we're alive, honey. It really is. But till the next time, thanks for watching.